welcome back to our watchmaking road trip adventure, as today we are taking you along with our team on a very special visit of one of the world's most prestigious brands, Patek Philippe. In the previous episode, we had the privilege of having the Patek Museum only for ourselves, and it helped us set the grounds for this adventure and grasp the very rich history of watchmaking in this temple of horological wonders, where you will not only find Patek Philippe watches, but an entire spectrum of the watchmaking history. So from scientific innovation to some fabulous demonstration of technical expertise and extreme craftsmanship, our team was just baffled. But now it's time to get back to today's world and see how Patek Philippe illustrates its very own slogan. You know, the one that says that you will never really own a Patek, but you're just looking after it before passing it on to the next generation? Well, this implies that your Patek watch should not only be cherished by its owner, if we can say this, but also by a special Patek team that will do what it takes to simply service it or fully restore your personal watch, whether dating from 100 years back or more contemporary model. And this is what you're about to find out. So off we go, and we were kindly greeted in the main entrance halls of Patek Philippe, a holy place for watch lovers.
Hello.
Bonjour, bonjour. Hello.
Comment ça va?
Nice. So this is the team from the road trip. It was time to gently move up the floors and to meet the head of this important service center for the brand.
We are probably the only brand in the watchmaking industry able to repair all watches since the beginning of the production. It means in 1839.
He gave us a quick speech on Patek's notion of service and reminded us that it was part of the brand's philosophy from the very start, as they are quite unique by having kept precise records regarding each and single watch that came out of the manufacturer since more than 175 years. So not only do you find ownership records, but also technical details, and this of course proves to be very precious when it comes to maintaining and sometimes restoring your watch.
When I was told that if you buy a Patek Philippe, you have the ability to service it for life, it's not just a statement. It proved to me what they meant by this, because their spare parts was impressive. The catalog of ancient parts is equally impressive. The recreation of individual components, this is it's very impressive.
Regarding this very notion of service, you have to remember that the watch is a living mechanical object, and as such it requires special care. Think of your car, and you know that you have to service it regularly if you want it to run smoothly as long as possible. Well, it's the same with your watch. A service here and there is definitely not an option. As for instance, special greases and oils will dry up, and you can easily imagine that these micro gears running 24/7, one against each other, will wear down more rapidly and will ultimately have a serious impact on your watch's chronometry. The same can be said about water resistance and gaskets also drying up. But sometimes servicing can be much more challenging, as your watch might have faced some much tougher environment. You know, the ones, for instance, falling on a stone floor from a table you laid your watch on, smashing it against a wall while wearing it. Well, these are countless examples of strange things that can happen to watches, even Pateks. Anyhow, part of the definition of fine watchmaking is precisely the fact that you can repair, restore, give a new life to your favorite object, and that's what's done here.
The story they told us about the watch that was underwater for 15 years and they managed to bring back to life to virtually like new condition, it speaks volumes about the dedication and the effort they put into their work.
And it took them a year to do so. You realize that they want to preserve their heritage more than just make money off the service. When they see a piece that has been damaged or that needs repair, they do it with passion so their legacy can continue. That's how they feel about their job.
Each individual watch is like a journey. It's like a journey, and you can see that the people who work there, you know, they won't let it leave unless it's better than it was when it was bought.
The thing that I found most amazing was that if they don't have a spare part for the watch, they'll make a new one. I just didn't know that existed in any realm of service at all. That attention to detail for after sales is unheard of.
Never have I seen such passion and enthusiasm for what they do.
Yes, this one is one of the most complicated because
5990, right?
Yes.
It's the worst time.
And For the polisher, it's one of the most difficult because you have many different type of, you have polishing, you have satin finish, you have sandblasting.
Any watch that arrives will follow the same exact path, and depending on what needs to be done on them, different teams will perform all that is necessary to ultimately return your watch in an impeccable working condition.
Here in this workshop, we are only working on cases, bracelets, or accessories that we can have.
This implies having access to historic spare parts or remanufacturing some special components. But this all relies on skills that need to be maintained and passed on within the company. And sometimes these can be very special skills with some fabulous and passionate artisan.
We met a guy called Frank. This guy has been doing the same exact thing on the same exact tool for 22 years. And he's learned it from 2 master watchmakers. And now his job is not to use it because he's already mastered it. It's to pass it on to another 2 apprentices. It's poetic. It's not a job. It's emotional.
I use that, the same of the violin. I turn my piece with that. I can feel what's happened in my hand too. If I have a problem, I can stop immediately.
This man was using his senses, and once a sense fails to provide that service, another sense comes in. He told us he cannot see it, but he can feel it. Sometimes he cannot even feel it, so he hears it. Another guy had his noise cancellation headphones on because he doesn't want to get distracted. He can feel the vibrations while he's shoving off those 2 microns. 2 microns? What's 2 microns? Not even a naked eye can see it. And this watchmaker can, using his senses. That's rare. That cannot be taught at university. I'm an engineer. They don't teach me that way. You cannot learn that in 4 or 5 years. You need to master that.
If we get 2 micron in general, we can see a black powder.
Talk about microengineering. I mean, this is not microengineering, this is microengineering.
I didn't know that the human hand was able to feel that to that precision, and to the ear to hear it and the eye to see it. It's really impressive.
I genuinely didn't think it could be done by hand. I've heard about it, but to talk about microns being done by hand, I just didn't think it was real.
So I guess everyone in the team enjoyed this experience of a lesser known aspect of watchmaking, but our journey is about to continue into real Swiss postcard territory as we are heading to the Vallée de Joux to visit Audemars Piguet, but we didn't go there directly. We had another little pleasant surprise on the way with an impromptu stop at the Montreux Jazz Festival, and you'll soon understand why. See you soon.
It's a nice challenge. It's a nice challenge for everybody.